Hey everybody, it's Linda Hughes. I am with eXp Realty and I am doing kind of like a breakdown of my first year in real estate because I'm coming up on 1 year of being a licensed real estate agent in the state of California. So I was looking for videos and blogs and any kind of articles that I was able to use when I first got into real estate. I was looking for things like how it's been in the first year. Was it expensive? Was it this? What did you do? What did you not do? So I just wanted to do a little bit of a rundown of what it's been like for me um, this first year. So I first wanted to do real estate. It's actually been for a very long time, probably several years. But I thought, oh, no way. The book's too hard, the material, there's no way I'm going to pass it. I mean, I took one look at the book many, many years ago. It was like this thick, and I said, absolutely not. So basically, I talked myself out of it. So finally, we had the pandemic, and COVID hit. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, I need some sort of a backup plan. Like, I have a really good job, but it's, which I love, but it's not my passion, right? I don't want to be sitting behind a desk for the next 25 years or so. So the pandemic hit, and here we are, and I'm like, I went online and I'm like, okay, let's find out what kind of schools are available to do my prerequisites. So you need to take 3 courses. You need to take, and these are pre-licensing classes. In order to be, you have to pass these 3 courses in order to take the state exam. So my state is California. So I took, there's real estate principles, real estate practice, and then you get one elective course. So I chose real estate finance. So as of when I took my test in California, you do not need, or I did not need to know like any crazy math questions. And I'm like, so why did you take the finance courses, Linda? Hello. But that's just what I did. That's what I chose. But I passed my 3 courses, got my certificates, went and did my fingerprints, filled out my application, sent it in, and once everything was processed, then I went ahead and applied to take the state exam. I just so happened to log on and found a cancellation date that just randomly came up. So it was pretty quick from the time that I passed my 3 courses, because I had to pass each final, to when I took my exam. So I started freaking out. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go really hardcore. I wasn't sure what to expect. I went online. I'm like, what can we do? What do we not do? And they're just like, just go, study. I joined groups. I joined study groups. And trust me when I say, not everybody passes the first time. It's extremely difficult test. It really is. I don't know how I passed it. I did pass it the very first time, but that is not normal. So don't expect to go there and get all disappointed when you don't pass it. I've heard of people, 8, 10, 12 times sometimes to pass it, because some people are just not good test takers, and that was me, and I was panicking. But I just went in there with an open mind, and I'm like, you know what, if I don't pass, it's okay. I'm just going to come back and I will just take it again, because the thing that I will tell you is, when you are a real estate agent and somebody says, hello, Mrs. Real Estate Agent, Miss Real Estate Agent, Mr. Real Estate Agent, will you represent me? Will you be my agent? Oh, and by the way, how many times did it take you to pass the test? Nobody's going to ask you that. Trust me, no one's going to care. It doesn't matter. What they care about is if you are able to help them. If you're knowledgeable, you can help them. So that's what the mentality that I went in going to take my test. I'm like, okay, Linda, nobody's going to care if it takes you 12 times to pass a test. It's not going to matter. And I just happened to, like, what? Like, I was blown away when I went in there and I found out that I passed my test. But trust me when I'm telling you, it does not matter if you don't pass right away. It's okay. Trust me, it is okay. Okay? Second of all, I was so worried about, like, oh my God, I know being a real estate agent is costly, right? You have your MLS fees in the state, you know, I don't know about other states. I'm just talking about California. You have your brokerage fees. I personally, I joined a brokerage that I absolutely love, and I fell in love with it the moment I found out about what their plan was. So I'm extremely happy with where I'm at. And yes, there's commission splits, there's caps, there's MLS fees, there's business cards, this, that, and the other. I personally have not had to pay for any business cards because when I went in, my business partner paid for my first set of business cards, so I didn't have to worry about stuff like that. So I took all of that into account. So everybody's different, you know, as far as, you know, the fees, the brokerage. Some have a license, some have desk fees, things like that. I don't have any of that. But you do have to think about that. If you're going to a brokerage, you got to think about things like, you know, you got to have your MLS fees. You're going to have your fees to join the National Association of Realtors. You know, you cannot call yourself a realtor. You cannot even use the trademark name Realtor unless you are a member of the National Association of Realtors. So just make sure that you're aware that it is going to cost money. It's going to cost money for this, for that, for signs, and it just depends who you go with. Like with our team, you know, fortunately, we are able to use their signs, you know, so it just really depends where you go, you know, so make sure that you do your homework as far as what brokerage that you are going to join. So there's that. So I wasn't, you know, you got your book fees for when you know, your license fees, your fingerprinting fees. So just make sure that you are aware that it is going to cost money. But save all your receipts. Everything's a tax write-off. I'm not a tax professional, so make sure that you are seeking professional tax advice when it comes to this. Another misconception that I thought about real estate agents is for me, being a woman, I was thinking, oh my gosh, you know, I was watching those real estate shows on Netflix, and they're all so cute, and they're thin, and they're skinny, and they wear, you know, 3-inch high heels, and I'm like, no, that's not going to be me, because first of all, I'm not a size 2, even though they're so super cute. So I had an image in my mind that I had to be slim, and I had to wear the cute little outfit with the matching purse and the matching shoes, and that's not like that. I mean, of course it's, you know, it's nice to think that way, but no, we're not going to play that. So, but that is what I thought. Like, that's what I was afraid of. Like, I wasn't going to fit in as what I have seen the norm from what I've seen on TV, and I've seen other, you know, agents that were super successful, and I'm like, I don't look like that. That's not me. Do you have to, you know? And it's not. You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to wear a certain brand. You don't have to have a certain cool car, certain cool purse or shoes or, anything like that. Yes, you want to make yourself look good, presentable, because when you look good, you feel good, and that energy comes off to your clients and the people that you're representing and the company the brokerage that you're representing as well. So that was also another thing. Let's see, what else can I tell you? All I can stress, especially during your first year, is make sure that you are opening your mouth and you are telling everybody what you do. Whether it be, hello, Mrs. Jones, I just wanted to let you know that I recently got my real estate license. So I would be happy to assist you in buying or selling real estate, commercial, whatever it is, in the area that you're in whatever areas that you're going to serve. So open your mouth. Do not be a secret agent. Make sure that you are telling people everywhere so that when somebody says, hey, neighbor John, I'm thinking about selling my home. Do you know of anybody? They can say, yes, I remember my next door neighbor, Linda, that lives down the street and around the corner. We were talking at the dog park, and I remember that she's a real estate agent. So don't be a secret agent. Make sure that your friends know, your family knows, your sphere of influence knows. Make sure that everybody knows that you are an agent and you are ready and willing to represent them. Another thing is doing open houses, because I was like, open houses, you got to stay there for a few hours. And I'm like, I don't understand. How am I going to do an open house if it's not my listing? Like, this listing belongs to somebody else. Well, when you're a successful real estate agent, a lot of times, real estate agents, sometimes they don't have the time to sit or stand in an open house for 3 hours showing a house when they're busy doing other things, taking clients here, taking clients there. They're just doing other stuff. So you can offer yourself and say, hey, I noticed that you have a listing coming up on the weekend. If you have not had any open houses, if you would, like some help holding it open, I would be happy to help you. And they'll either say yes, no, oh my gosh, thank you, whatever. So you will be called then a hosting agent. So even if it's not your listing, you can have, you can hold that open house and you can speak to people as they come in. Sorry for my lighting, it's going crazy. You can speak to people when they come in and they automatically become your leads. And if you have more than one person that's there to assist you, then you have a team of people that will help them. So you can pick up leads that way. So talking to everybody, doing open houses is one of the biggest things I could probably say, because I have known firsthand what it can do. And trust me, you guys, it is scary when you first get into real estate, but as long as you are prepared, go to the trainings when you're business partners and you join a brokerage and they have a training. If you can go to those trainings, make sure that you attend as many trainings as you possibly can, because they do help. Go to the events. If they have an event and you're able to go, because they do help a lot, and you meet so many amazing, incredible people. At least I have, and I know a lot of other people have. So it doesn't stop there. You are constantly meeting people. The most important thing about being a real estate agent, when you're listing your first house or when you're helping somebody buy their first house, we will talk about buying, okay? When you have a client that you are helping purchase their very first home, it doesn't even have to be their first home, but being the first home, it makes the deal even sweeter. But when you are helping a family or an individual buy a home and you hand over the keys to their home, all of your hard work, all of their hard work, it does not go unnoticed with them, and they are so appreciative. And it just, the feeling is unexplainable. It's so hard to explain the feeling that you get when you're able to hand the keys over to one of your clients that just bought a home, and you represented them in the process of that. So it is so worth it. Don't give up, and I will see you out in the real estate land.